It's time.
This is the CSL This Week. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex Bastyovanszky, bringing you all the action from the Canadian Soccer League. On the show today, we take a closer look at one of the CSL's most prolific goal scorers, York Region shooter striker Richard West. Also, Kirill Dimitrov of SC Waterloo will join me here in the studio to talk about his team's push towards the postseason. That's coming up later in the show. But first, let's get to the highlights. And, you know, all season long, there's been one team that's been the class of the league, the York Region Shooters. Heading into their game last Sunday with the North York Astros, the Shooters were the lone remaining undefeated team in the CSL and could clinch the regular season title with just a tie against the Astros. The highlights now brought to you by Leica Sports, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League. Just a single point. That's all the Shooters would need to clinch their first regular season title since 2010. Early on, some rough stuff that nearly leads to a brawl here. Richard Edwards with the hard tackle. Gabe Gala takes exception and tempers flare. Edwards got a yellow and cooler heads did prevail eventually. Gala gets the best type of revenge though. 11th minute, Antoine Paul knocks it out front. Gala, money. 1-0 Astros, who are without top scorer Joey Mello due to injury, so their scoring depth comes through there. York gets it back though. Ricky Heron with the fancy footwork hits Oswald Adu, who smokes it home past Jason Lopez, and things are all knotted at 1 through 30 minutes of play. On to the second half of play we go, and the Astros come out gunning. Antoine Paul streaking down the far wing, but he smacks the shot just over top of the bar. Then it's Gala to a surging Jose de Souza. Massive stop though by Emmanuel Ambeltonis. Jose can't believe it. Then a brutal giveaway by Boris Milicic, but Lopez comes out to challenge and he keeps it a 1-1 game. Lopez had to be on his toes constantly in this contest. Richard West tests him from 15 yards out. Edwards follows up. Lopez equal to the task both times though. And then just before full time, it's Des Humphreys to Hector Mackey, but the Brit hammers it just wide of the far post. So 1-1 is how it ends, and that's all York needed. With the single point, they clinched the regular season championship. Now for the Astros, they're trying to hold on to at least 4th in the standings to guarantee a home playoff date. You know, 2014 has been a mixed bag for Burlington SC. After a torrid start that left them sitting near the top of the table for most of the summer, the team suffered through a brutal stretch of injuries and player departures that led to an ugly winless skid. As the playoffs approach, though, BSC is once again healthy and looking strong, and they were firing on all cylinders against a young Niagara squad last Sunday. Burlington could clinch a playoff berth with a win, and they came at keeper Matthew Greco in waves. Nicholas Lindsay to Marian Vuka, but Greco makes the huge stop to keep it scoreless. Great save by the Niagara youngster. 10th minute though, Lindsay, first game back from injury, and it was one to remember as he turns and smashes it home from 20 yards out, and BSC goes up 1-0. Much more to come from the former TFC striker in this game. 15 minutes later, Nicolas Stojanovic eludes James D'Annunzio, threads it to Marian Vuka, 2-0 Burlington through 25 minutes of play. And moments later, it's Vuka with the golden chance out front here, but the big man just can't put it home from 10 yards out, and his reaction pretty much says it all. And then it's time for the Lindsay show once again as he takes the pass from Marco Machado and hammers it home once again from 20 yards out. Burlington just all over the inexperienced Niagara squad. But in the 35th minute, a ray of light for United as their man gets chopped down inside the Burlington box. So Jordi Amores heads to the spot, and he makes no mistake. Niagara cuts the lead to 3-1, but Lindsay was just the unstoppable force in this game. 42nd minute, he redirects the pass from Machado for the hat trick, all in the first half. 4-1 BSC. United added one more in the second half, but this one was never in doubt. With the win, Burlington clinches a playoff berth, so congrats to the second-year franchise. Other game scores: London City, huge points over Serbia, 1-0 from Hellenic Center. We'll talk about the implications of that later. Kingston and Croatia in an epic matchup. Kingston comes out on top by a 5-4 count. Brampton City taking more important points away from Serbia. 1-0, they blanked them from Terry Fox Stadium. And London City really could have used these points here. 2-1 SC Waterloo doubles them up from Warrior Stadium. So let's take a look at the league standings then. As mentioned, York Region on top. They've clinched the regular season title. There's your playoff line. Serbia currently on the outside looking in, but London, Brampton, and SC Waterloo are also vulnerable to lose that last spot. Just remember, head to CanadianSoccerLeague.ca for all the latest news, stats, and up-to-date standings. We got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Time to catch up now on the latest news and notes from around the CSL. And congrats go out to the York Region Shooters. As previously mentioned, the club wrapped up the CSL regular season championship last Sunday. And for much of the season, it seemed like it was a foregone conclusion. But with Croatia making a strong run down the stretch, the race became at least somewhat interesting. Croatia's loss to Kingston on Sunday and the Shooters' 1-1 tie with the Astros was enough to clinch it for York Region. The squad has been a model of consistency all season, with balanced scoring throughout the lineup and a potent mix of youngsters and veterans. York Region owner Tony DeThomasis.
Well, clinching first place is actually a great feeling because it's week in, week out injuries, yellow cards, suspensions, everything. In North America, it's too bad we place so much emphasis on playoffs, but in Europe, winning your league is number one. Everything else is a bonus. That's how we feel. This year, when the year started, we started off 2 or 3 games winning, but they were all so close, 1-0, 2-1. We weren't that happy, and I told the players. After about the 4th game, that's when we really clicked, and since then, it's been nice to watch.
And with just 2 games remaining, the Shooters have a chance to go undefeated for the entire regular season. Congratulations also go out to Kingston FC, whose second division squad clinched their league title. Now this one was never in doubt. Kingston was absolutely dominant from the start this season. Currently, they have an 11-point bulge over second place Burlington. Their offense has been unstoppable, scoring 62 goals through 14 games, and they've been led by Mademba Ba, who has notched an astounding 31 of his team's tallies. Kingston owner Lorne Abigoff.
Okay, well, we're obviously very proud here at Kingston FC about our second division, our reserve team, which has recently clinched the CSL championship. For the club itself, it's Kingston FC's second CSL League championship in 2 years. Last year, our first team won. So it's a great accomplishment for our club, and only our 3rd year of existence. We certainly set out to bolster the second division team. We had finished 8th place last year and lost out in the first round of the playoffs, bringing in some very good quality young players that have really come through this season and helped us a lot. The reserve team for us is tremendously important because it is the feeder stream, as you would expect, for our first division team. So, that's the importance of having a strong reserve team, and we haven't had that luxury before at Kingston FC, so that's why we're so happy with this year's achievement.
As you saw in the previous segment, Burlington SC got a shot of adrenaline last week with the return of their main man and #1 striker, Nicholas Lindsay, to the lineup. Formerly of Toronto FC of Major League Soccer, Lindsay shredded Niagara United last Sunday, notching a hat-trick in the first half and setting up numerous chances. It's been a trying season for the young forward. In late July, he suffered a knee injury and missed several weeks. He returned to the lineup only to be suspended for 3 games after an altercation during a contest with North York. Once he came back, he suffered another injury that kept him out for a stretch. If Sunday's dominant performance is any indication, he's in top form. Great news for Burlington, who just clinched a playoff berth. Well, the race for the 8th and final playoff spot is heating up as we head into the last 2 weeks of regular season play, with several teams still on the bubble. SC Waterloo, Brampton, London City, and Serbia are all jockeying for the final spot. Now, taking a look at the standings, there's the playoff line. Serbia currently is on the outside looking in with 17 points. However, they have a game in hand on the other squads they're chasing, and it could all come down to one game on Saturday, October 4th at Lamport Stadium when Serbia and London face off in their final contest of the season. Winner takes all.
Hi, my name is Jordi Morris. I'm an attacking midfielder for Niagara United. What I think I bring to this team is I play in the middle, so I like to keep everyone, connect everyone, pause the game a bit, have some vision on the field, play the through balls to the forwards. Being from Niagara gives me an extra motivation to keep playing for this team because that's where I grew up and I'm from, so I always like to help out and make it look better, have a good image. This season was a difficult season, but during difficult seasons, that's when you learn the most. Looking forward for next year, trying to make it a lot better, hopefully. Coach Carlo, he's very strict, a little cocky sometimes, but he's a good guy. He knows the game a lot. We know he used to play in the league because he always talks about it. He always wants to go in and play. We know he's way too old to play now, but yeah, he's a great guy.
We got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, welcome back. I'm joined now in the studio by SC Waterloo midfielder Kirill Dimitrov. Kirill, welcome to the studio, buddy.
Thank you.
So yesterday, big win for you guys over one of the teams that's actually chasing you for that 8th and final playoff spot. London City, 2-1 win for you guys. Talk about the game and what happened.
The game is really tight because the both team want to win the game to make a playoffs. So London, they try to make a point for us, but we play more physical and more aggressively. So Drazen Vukovic helped to us to score 2 goals.
As he always does, yeah.
So we received 1 goal from Marin, an amazing player from London. So, and big win for us. 2-1.
I wanted to ask you about that because at the transfer deadline, the biggest name to trade teams was Guillaume Soro, last year's Golden Boot winner who went to London. He's now playing with Marin Grgic, who is a previous Golden Boot winner and MVP himself. Those two up front together, deadly combination. What was it like with them last night? What's it like trying to contain those two?
So the dangerous guy last night is the Marin.
Was Marin? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Soro did, of course, obviously he's an amazing player, but he's need the time to
settle in a little bit.
Yeah. He need the time. He doesn't play that good last night.
Yeah. So you think
that's good for us?
It's good for you, of course, but it's more of a comfort level between those two.
But if they make the playoffs, I think he's gonna play more and more better. Yeah. And that's gonna be danger for other teams.
Nobody's going to want to face them in the playoffs, basically. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We never know.
So you're originally from Bulgaria.
Yeah, I'm from Bulgaria.
And been here for 4 years now.
4 years.
So talk about how it is that you end up coming from Bulgaria to Canada. What's the story behind that?
I was playing in Bulgaria, and I met with a girl. She's from here. So she's bringing me here just for vacation, Christmas.
So this is a romance story. That's what it is. Okay, all right.
So I said, okay, I will stay here to try to find a team, and I find Serbian White Eagles.
Serbian was your first team, yeah.
My first team. I played with them 3 years, and now it's my first year with Waterloo.
How are you liking Waterloo?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good bunch of guys, huh?
Yeah. More guys who they have so much experience. Yeah. The coach, everything, it's like a professional. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Which is how it should be. That's good. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the players on that team. Of course, Waterloo were the playoff champions last year. A lot of skill, a lot of experience on that team. Let's start with the guy you had already mentioned. As we mentioned, it's normal for this guy to pot a couple of goals every game. Drazen Vukovic, one of the top scorers in the CSL. Talk about Drazen and what it's like to play with him.
Drazen is an amazing guy, amazing player. For me, it's like not only in the CSL in Canada, soccer, like all my life.
Even playing back in Europe, one of the best guys.
He can play like every team. everything.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. He can score any minutes, any second. For me, he's an amazing player.
You can't keep your eye off him for a second.
No.
Another guy who's been a fantastic goal scorer for Waterloo, hasn't been potting as many goals this year as he did last year, but brings so much more to the pitch than just the goal scoring. Adis Asesic.
Yeah.
Talk about Asesic and what he brings.
He's an amazing guy, good friend.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. He's always straight guy, serious guy. He's coming early to practice. He's always serious on the practice. He's an amazing player.
Yeah, and he plays, he's from Bosnia, and he goes back home in our off season, which is their season, of course, in the wintertime, and he plays professionally in Bosnia, doesn't he? He goes home.
I can be honest with you, like that's what I heard. So many teams, he like him to sign it up in Bosnia.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Ranko Gulyanin, CSL veteran. Ranko, the 38-year-old wonder who just keeps on going. Won a championship with Brantford in 2010.
Yeah.
Won a championship last year, helping to lead Waterloo to the title in 2013.
Yep.
This guy's played second division in Spain. He's played all over Europe. So much skill, so much experience. Talk about Ranko.
Like, he's a good guy first, because he's always help on the team, you know, talking, mentality, how we gotta do it, everything. We listen to him.
Yeah.
First, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Second, he's an amazing player. He has many games, experience. Like, he always helped to us.
Yeah.
So he's an amazing guy.
The size and the strength too. You see it when there's tight coverage on him. He's able just to shrug guys off. He's just so big and so strong, isn't he?
Of course. He's a big guy. He's a strong guy.
Yeah.
His practice good. Like, every time he's practice well.
Yeah.
So
you're back in the lineup now. You missed a little bit of towards the start of the season because you had an injury. Talk about it and what it was that you actually had.
I just a little repair my meniscus. I always do the surgery, and I missed a couple games, 2-3 games, but nothing wrong now.
So you're back in fighting shape now. That's good.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
So
this team, Waterloo, fighting for a playoff spot, but really you guys just need another point and you've clinched a spot. So most likely you're going to make it in. Last year, we all know what happened. Waterloo wasn't necessarily a dominant team in the regular season, but once the playoffs came along, the experience just shone through all the way to the playoff title. Is this going to happen again this year? I know all those same players are still there. The tool's still there to make that happen once again.
We'll be ready 100%, all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. We're ready for that. You know, the playoffs is important for us.
Yeah.
Because we miss some games, we lose some games.
That's what they kept saying at the beginning of the year when I talked to the team was they lost the first few games. They said, don't worry.
Don't worry, we're going to play a final.
Yeah.
We're going to play a final.
You can play the final.
I can be honest with you.
You be honest with me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's why you're here. And you know what? When you guys were in last place for a while, everyone knew that wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
Just too much skill and too much experience.
Yeah.
Kirill, man, good luck going forward.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
All right, CSL This Week will return in just a moment. Welcome back. Well, he may have played for 3 teams in the past 5 years, but no matter the setting, the results have been the same. Richard West brings instant offense to a team's lineup. Now donning the kit of the York Region Shooters, West is a big reason why the squad are this year's CSL regular season champs and have their sights set on the playoff title in late October. Richard West, this week's player profile, brought to you by Thomas Financial, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League. The York Region Shooters were looking for added offensive punch. After a 2012 season that saw the team score just 33 times in 22 contests, it was tops on their shopping list in the off-season. Enter Richard West.
We phoned Richard West last year, around February. We just asked him, we said, you know, this year I know you're a free agent. What are your plans? He said, we're not too sure. And we just asked him, he said, would you want to come to the Shooters? He goes, I'd love to. And we talked, and he, you know, we made an agreement, and he's here. He loves it.
Since coming to the CSL in 2011, West has been one of the most prolific goal scorers in the league. In 2011 with Brampton, he hit the net 17 times. The next season, he moved to the Serbian White Eagles and tallied 15 markers. He picked up the pace in 2013, his first year with York Region, tying for second in the league with 19 goals.
The thing is with Richard, sometimes when the game is, I remember a lot of times last year when the game was on the line and we thought we were just going to end up in a tie at the end of the game, he just finds a way to score, right? He's got the talent where he can break through, and any given time, if any of the defense sleep on him, he'll penalize you, and he knows how to finish and with both legs, and he's just phenomenal, and the stats speak for itself.
Beyond the goals, though, it's the little things that West does that you'll never see on the score sheet that truly impress the shooters.
Okay, West is a unique individual. He's always positive. On the field, it doesn't matter what happens, he's giving encouragement. And for a striker, he can defend. I mean, if he loses the ball or his team makes him trouble, he's actually one of the first to come back. He's almost like a Messi. He does come back and fight for the ball, you know? He's not like a guy like stands on the side and says, give me the ball. He'll come back and he'll fight. He's got quick feet. I mean, I watch him play and I figure, this guy's gonna get stopped. But his feet are really quick. He's like a Messi. He really is. He's that good.
Towards the end of the 2013 season, West was instrumental in bringing a player in who now partners with him to form one of the most lethal scoring duos in the league. A native of Jamaica, West's best friend back home was Richard Edwards, a former national player. And through West's connection, the team brought Edwards to Canada, and the two are inseparable on and off the field.
So he was excited actually bringing him back here, playing here in the Shooters, because they were telling me they did play back home on the same team, and they did have that connect. And you know, one of Eddie's first game, I think, was last year against Brampton. He gave him the 2 passes, and we won 3-2, and Richard scored 3 goals. So right there and then, they had the connect that they had from the previous years.
Now firmly established as one of the CSL's best, those who have watched West up close have no doubt he's a player who could comfortably make the step up to the next level.
Oh, definitely. He trains with us 2 or 3 times a week. And if he trained 5 days a week, he'd be twice as good. CSL is a good level for him because he's got a family and he does make money in the pro league, but he also has to work. But imagine a player with that kind of talent at 28 years old. If any team in MLS would look at him and give him a chance, I guarantee he'd score 15 goals, 20 goals a year in MLS.
And before we go, a look at the Olympic Trophies play of the week. It's York Region's Emmanuel Hamiltonis with the massive stop on Jose de Souza right there. That was a game saver because it was tied 1-1. That would have won the game. Emmanuel Hamiltonis, definitely worthy of our Olympic Trophies play of the week. And that's all the time we've got for today, but just remember that for all the latest CSL news, stats, and standings, head to CanadianSoccerLeague.ca, and you can also check out the league on Twitter at CSL_soccer. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next week.